Half a day dyan, buenas tardes para todos hamzo ni man presente kini po ako gi piso ni San Hilo na guma legislatura. Esta ay hora 5 pasado las 2 después de Taluani este na agosto dia 12, 2024. Para i beneficio ni man presente po ako, by introduce member ni EAGI committee. Gwasya Bantista Intingwa, i-vice chair. Para este na komite sa Senador Donald Magnolia, Guiza Loki gumihilului i Fiscal Affairs, zani Health, Education and Welfare Committee ginigiza gi Senate. Si Senadora Corina Magofnia, Guiza gumihilului i Committee on Resources, Economic Development and Programs and Gaming. Titsagugo zampago na ora, sempre si Senador Paul Magnolia u manhita sempre gini halum. Zagwiza mo mananea i Committee on Public Utilities, Transportation and Communications. Zan lokwi Committee on Federal Relations gwinigi Senate. Lokwi sa sauno gini kumu uno na membro si Senator Jude Hofschneider. Lo gagi gi presente na representa i Zanilo na guma legislatura gi Association of Pacific Island Legislatures Giza Palau. Za maskusa gini neste na junta. Lokwi man manasisisti pa ako ginigi paray komitea. Iabot Garden Mommy as Joe Bermudez. Isumapopota i komitea. Tat kumu si Senyor Devin Macaranas. Dan si Senyor Delbert Camacho. I Sergeant at Arms pago na Taluani si Senyor Will Oggun. Dan pudlusotimo si former representative. Dan as Senyor LJ Castro manasisisti kumu litratista. Para pago na Taluani. I will now invite the representative from the administration, Mr. Paul Regis, and the nominee, Ms. Dina Adda Tenorio, to join us in the chamber. Señor Regis, alguien listo está, por favor, consigue.
Good afternoon, Hafaday, Zantiro, Chairwoman Selena Arbabauta, and honorable members of the Executive Appointments and Government Investigations Committee. For record purposes, my name is Jean-Paul B. Regis, Special Projects Coordinator under the Office of the Governor. I am here to once more tasked by the Special Assistant for Administration, Mr. Oscar M. Babauta, and on behalf of the administration, the Honorable Governor Arno I. Palacios and the Honorable Lieutenant Governor David M. Apateng, I thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. I am pleased to introduce the Governor and Lieutenant Governor's nominee, Ms. Dina Ada Tenorio, for the Northern Marianas Technical Institute Board of Trustees, representing the 3rd Senatorial District of our beautiful islands of Saipan. Ms. Dina A. Tenorio is an outstanding, family-oriented individual with a proven track record of success in the private sector. She has boasted 15 years of experience in commercial diving, 15 years of commercial diving industry. She holds an esteemed position of business owner and general manager of Laddie Marine Diving and Salvage LLC, the sole commercial diving and salvage company in the Sinamay. Madam Chair and honorable members, Ms. Tenorio is and will be a tremendous asset if and when she receives your favorable approval. She is a diver. She constructs ships repairs by welding underwater, does rescue and recovery, as well as salvaging. It is for these reasons that Governor Palacios and Lieutenant Governor David M. Apateng place their full and complete trust in Ms. Tenorio to serve on the Northern Marianas Technical Institute Board of Trustees. I know she stands ready to answer your question and present her plans for the future. Her professional experience, credentials, and commitment to serving the Commonwealth in this capacity make her a viable candidate, and we kindly ask for your expeditious approval. Thank you, Jesus Moses and Gilissa, for the opportunity to introduce her to this august body. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Jesus Moses, Señor Regis. Gid mismo ora zaulo kinabehu recognisa y mañana mapuntas Señor dan Señora Juan Igor Tenorio, bienvenido para Hamzo. Dan lokwe para familia ni man presente pa bugini. na Talwani. At this time, if there are no objections from the members, I will go back to public comments and open up the floor for public comments. The floor is now open.
Buenos dias. Thank you, Honorable Chair and Committee, for allowing me to give public comments on behalf and in support of the nomination of Dina Tenorio to the NMTI Trustee Board. I have seen her work in the community in building up her workforce using WIA programs and taking advantage of the different assistance that is out there to help develop young local talent, especially in the area of underwater construction, something that we all know is a #1 priority in our industries that we have known we've needed ever since. And I'm so glad that this daughter of the Marianas came home after her many years abroad, learning the tricks of the trade and how to become an operator that is homegrown. That's something we don't see enough of. And so with that, I support her nomination. She will bring a wealth of knowledge, but also brings the cultural appreciation and spreads that within the people that she trains, because she invests in the people who live here. She's had many of her employees have been Kegman alumni, who I also want to see have these opportunities. And I just see so much potential in her area that NMTI will definitely benefit from because of her experience and her willingness to see how programs work. But thank you.
Precisas Mose, Senor Staffler. Ms. Staffler, may I ask you to please return to your chair and state your name and the entity you represent for the record.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I always forget this part. My name is Leila Staffler. I am here as a community member, but I'm also here as the Secretary of Labor who works with WIA and NMTech extensively and wants to see them successful. Thank you again.
Thank you, Secretary Staffler. The floor is still open for public comments. Alma, Senor.
Dispenser, Honorably Senador, Chairwoman, Senador, Honorably, Senador, Honorably. Tutungo ko conflict of interest isti, but interest of conflict, so dahil zo gini paggigimen al mizo kumutata sa ane pagomatusti musque gini musquela. Ifinanina finasiano I por favor, fangon ni famagun toto tano, za naselbi hafa kapasidad mo, ane ko sinya un panagui, cosa que mamela na tempo, itanota za Marianas, guaha famaguun ni mga kolo, muna sinya enona totu sa tadza, haguha. Gineenog of magubdo, kumutata sa tuloy ako kuni na empleado o para empleado, lanungan through workforce investment, puro famagun toto tano. Pas guaguahan ni umano do mamblikero matatung do ega, todo guaho tu hongi, nestina famaguni stek kapasidad niya. Masafan ofaisin, sinyas tama togwi, Pues guahu ana mamaguvzo. Ano lili na sige ha muna di apanogwi dan anonoy experiences siya na fumaguon. Pues ganyan no. Matototsong yu pa be faisin. In konsensyan mizo. Da in ajuda tigwiza ha na para inot ki Marianas. Da usono gi NMTI. Cosa que siya i programa. Bueno na edukasyon. Siya bonsagwi. Ane siya kubri mas na famaguon. Tautonot ki Marianas. Si Diyos masi dyan. Buenas tardes.
Si Jesus Masi, gusto niya por favor unsagan inan mo? For the record.
Parewa man dyan siya. Stapler. Dyan mommy man malifanon no si Juan Igor Tenorio. Dispensa. Ginintanopak.
Si Jesus Masi, Senor Tenorio. The floor is still open for public comments.
Good afternoon. My name is Kina Vabalta. I've been friends with Dina Tenorio for far longer than 15 years. Growing up together side by side through growing together as friends, her passion and her commitment to the Northern Marianas is very inspiring to watch. And she just told me about this hearing on Saturday. So I really didn't prepare anything for a long speech, but just to know that she is the best nomination for this. Her passion, her dedication, and her loyalty to the Sinamai. We all should find that inspiring. So I'm so proud of her. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Babalta. The floor is still open for public comments. If there are no further public comments, I will now close that portion of our agenda and move ahead. Aside from the public testimonies you've heard this afternoon, we also received a letter of support from Ms. Carla Nao Camacho, and the committee did not receive any letters in opposition of this nomination. At this time, Senora Dina Tenorio, por favor, tohgi. Don hatsaya gapana kanay mo, kosa kisinyon manafanhula. And I will recognize Assistant Devin Macronis. Please rise and raise your right hand while he administers the oath.
Dina A. Tenorio, you do solemnly swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you shall give in the matter at hand shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you.
You may be seated. Ms. Tenorio was nominated last May 28, 2024, and has completed all the necessary requirements before this committee, including the disclosure of her financial statement, her drug test results, and her criminal record. Today, we will evaluate the nominee from the executive branch, Ms. Dina Ada Tenorio, nominated to serve as a trustee of the Northern Marianas Technical Institute. This nomination requires the advice and consent of the Senate, a procedure unique to the Senate. This hearing is part of our democratic process, which involves the legislature exercising its authority under the Constitution and laws of the CNMI to vet the executive branch nominees' credentials beyond their professional or educational background in order to recommend confirmation or rejection of the executive appointment. And that is why we are here today. Each of the members here have an obligation to ask questions in order to determine your fitness for the position you were nominated for. And at this time, I will turn the floor over to the nominee, Ms. Tenorio, should you desire to make any opening remarks.
Thank you. Hafaday Zantero, Chairwoman Bebota, Vice Chair Manglonia, members of the Senate Standing Committee on Executive Appointments and Government Investigation, and fellow citizens. My name is Dina A. Tenorio. I am honored to be here today as a nominee of the Board of Trustees for the Northern Marianas Technical Institute. I want to begin by expressing my gratitude for the confidence placed in me for this important role. And I am eager to share my thoughts on how I believe we can further the mission of this critical institution. The Northern Marianas Technical Institute plays a pivotal role in our community. It equips our students with the practical skills needed to thrive in today's workforce. In a rapidly changing world where technology and industry demands evolve continuously, it is crucial that our educational institutions keep pace. We must ensure that our curriculum and training programs are not only up to date, but also forward-thinking, preparing our students for both current and future opportunities. As someone deeply invested in the welfare and progress of our Northern Marianas descent community, I see this appointment as an opportunity to advocate for programs and that resonate with our cultural values while driving economic growth. My professional background in the marine and construction industry has taught me the importance of a hands-on experience, technical knowledge, and adaptability. These are qualities I hope to bring to the table as a trustee. In addition, my experience in the marine and construction industry, I also serve as the chairperson for the program committee and as a state workforce development board member. This role has given me a unique perspective on the broader workforce needs of our region, and has further fueled my commitment to ensuring that our educational institutions are closely aligned with these needs. If confirmed, my goals are simple yet impactful. I aim to foster stronger partnership between Northern Marianas Technical Institute and local industries. This will ensure that our programs are aligned with the real-world needs of employers and that students have direct pathways to employment upon graduation. I will advocate for increased accessibility to technical education for all members of our community, including those in remote areas and facing financial difficulties. Every individual deserves the opportunity to gain skills that will help them secure a prosperous future. I plan to push for the integration and emerging technologies and innovative teaching methods into our curriculum. By doing so, we can better prepare our students for the evolving demands of the global workforce. I want to reiterate my commitment to serving the Northern Marianas Technical Institute and our community with dedication and integrity. I am excited about the possibilities that lie ahead, and I'm ready to work with my fellow trustees, educators, and industry leaders to ensure that our institute continues to be a beacon of opportunity and excellence in the Northern Marianas. Thank you for your time.
Senora Tenorio. At this time, I will open the floor for questions from the members, and I will recognize Senator Karina Magofnia at this time.
Susmasi, Chairwoman. Good afternoon, Ms. Tenorio, to you and your family and the rest who are here to support your nomination. I would like to thank you personally for taking on the additional responsibility and for really, being willing to commit in sharing your wealth of knowledge and your experience to help build the capacity that we need here in the CNMI. So thank you for your selfless assistance to the CNMI. I will start with the impending exodus of all CW workers by December 2029. I think we are all aware, and we know that that day is coming soon. That was imposed by the U.S. Congress, and we all know that it's going to greatly impact the CNMI economy, right? So particularly in the construction, hospitality, and agricultural sectors. What initiatives do you hope to implement to rapidly upskill and reskill the local workforce to fill the void left by the CW workers? Thank you.
The Institute can address workforce shortage by developing targeted training programs that prepare students for high-demand jobs. This could involve working closely with industry partners to diversify skill gaps and create courses that directly addresses those needs. Additionally, the institute can offer short-term certification programs that allow individuals to quickly gain skills needed for specific roles, helping to fill immediate workforce shortages. By staying responsive to the needs of local industries, the Institute can play a crucial role in ensuring that our region has a strong, capable workforce.
Thank you for your answer. That's all I have, Chairwoman. I yield.
Thank you, Senator Magovnia. I will recognize Senator Donald Manglona.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations, Mr. Norio, on your nomination. For those who are unaware, last term, the House had adopted a resolution commending Ms. Dina Tenorio in honor and recognition as the first female Indigenous person from the Commonwealth as a certified commercial driver. And so, I just wanted to share that for those listening to see. Refer to House Resolution 2223, which pretty much acknowledges the accomplishments of Ms. Tenorio. Ms. Tenorio, looking through your resume, I see you have done a lot of work in underwater construction. Can you just briefly describe what that job entails?
Underwater construction, well, it all depends on what you're doing, but underwater construction pretty much entails in pier repairs, inspection, maintenance, pipeline construction, ship husbandry, salvaging, pretty much anything you see that's done construction work on land, we have the capability of doing it underwater.
Is there a big need for that here in the Sinamai,
Oh
in your
yeah.
opinion? And
Oh yeah.
do we lack the necessary skilled workers in that area?
Well, one of the reasons why I came back home and started teaching and advocating and outreaching what I do for a living is because I was actually one of the commercial divers off island that was being hired to come into the CNMI and do work, such as ship husbandry, pier inspection, ship inspection, salvaging, fiber optic cables, installation, maintenance. Yeah, so yes, there is a need for commercial diving here in the CNMI. If I'm being hired while I was off island as a child of the Mariana Islands, that should say a lot.
Right.
It's one of the reasons why I came back home is because I could come back home and still do what I do for a living.
And I know we've heard from Ms. Staffler, who testified earlier, regarding the WIA program. So is that one of the pathways to get interested students or individuals to look into that field and see if that's something that is something that those individuals can pursue? Or do you know are there any programs within NMTI right now that focuses on that area?
Well, NMTI works closely with WIA, the WIOA program. So they have programs for NMTech students. And then, I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Would WIA be one of the I would assume WIA is one of the pathways to get students interested and exposed to the types of professions that is seen with the type of work that you do. But is this something that also could be sought from NMTI? Are there current programs right now that provide that that pathway?
Well, NM Tech provides skilled programs, but it doesn't provide it does provide a workforce at the end of the program, but the beauty about WIOA program, opportunity to be given the chance that a lot of them don't get when they go out on their own. And also one of the things that I use WIOA in my company because it allows the students to come and see what we're about and at the same time figure out if it's something for them. And if it's not, then that's the beauty about WIOA. We can, me as the sponsor company, I can turn around and I get to work with WIOA and let them know what's going on and then how we can better help the trainee that's being trained and is not into the industry that we're in, because there's a lot of industry out there that anybody can get onto.
Right.
It's just
But seeing as how WIO is more of like an apprenticeship type program, do we have more of the certification type program under NMTI that caters to the industry, the marine industry? Or do you think that's lacking? I mean,
it's it's a work in progress program, I would say. Marine industry programs and at NM Tech, which is Mike Balker's program. And a lot of his certifications can fall into our industry at the same time. Though the only difference is that they're not going to be certified commercial divers, and they won't be allowed to. That's another program that they gotta go and seek out for. But as far as what Mike Balker's program is introducing is pretty much all the basic certifications that you will need to enter to get your foot
like
into the marine
prerequisites
industry.
before going off.
Yes.
Have you had time to walk through or visit NMTI recently?
Plenty of times, almost every 2 days a week. I'm also a student at NM
Okay.
Tech.
So seeing as how you were able to see the types of programs, do you feel like what would, in your opinion, would like to see being offered at NMTI that addresses some of the shortages of skilled workers that are not currently offered at NMTI?
I would. I don't have the information for at the moment, but we'll be more than happy to gather and provide that information to you soon.
Okay. I think, I don't know what the rules are. You say you're currently a student at NMTI?
Yes.
Are you going to complete that program soon, or?
Of course.
But I'm just wondering if that would be a conflict. I mean, seeing as how, as a trustee, if confirmed, I don't know. Maybe that's a question for council to verify before we take any action. But I hope that it doesn't mess with any of the progress that you've made under that program. I think my questions were more focused around the creation of new programs or in order to address some of the shortages that we're seeing in the community right now and moving into 2029. I think maybe just off the bat, do you have any plans for the introduction of new programs within NMTI?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question?
How do you think NMTI will be able to grow their programs and grow their class offerings as well as their enrollment within NMTI?
Community engagement. We can start off with the community engagement, and community engagement starts with communication. I would advocate for regular outreach effort to keep the community informed about the Institute's program and success, whether through social media, town hall meetings, or partnership with local media. I would also work to involve community members in the Institute's activities. such as inviting local professionals to speak at events or participating in community advisory to the community. Additionally, I will support initiative allowing the institute to give back to the community, such as offering free workshops and services.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think some of the things, if I may recommend, if confirmed, Rhoda and Tinian were represented by one trustee, but with the support of the other trustees, we can help push and expedite some of these programs into the first and second senatorial districts. So I hope you can work closely with the Rhoda and Tinian trustees to see how best they can be supported in trying to get some of these programs out there. Additionally, maybe also look at some of the programs that could address some of the professional development that is really needed within our government. Whether it be computer literacy or basic office etiquette and stuff like that. I hope that's something that could also be looked at to address, and maybe also kind of create a pathway to allow for employees to advance their basic skills and knowledge, and at the same time using those prerequisites to earn a higher salary as opposed to this WGI that they wait for every year. And so I hope that's something that could be looked into. And so that's all I have now for now, Chair. And I yield
Thank
my
you,
time.
Senator Donald Manglonia. Recognize Senator Paul Manglonia.
Thank you, Chair. Mrs. Sumasi, thank you, Dina, actually, for taking on this, as Senator Corina mentioned, on this additional challenge. I think you have already a lot on your plate. Looking over your background, I must say that, like the other members here, I'm very impressed with your successful career. It's not easy to not only learn diving, and especially commercial at that, and then to actually have construction, engineering, oceaneering background. That's not easy, and I commend you for that. I know you make your parents, my close friend, former Congressman Tenorio, and your mom, very proud of you and your siblings. I think today we also had a hearing for another young individual this morning who went off island and had 11-year veteran. He was a veteran, came back, helping us now at the grants office, and also took on the challenge of being a member of another board here. And here you are also. I think you're a perfect nominee for this position. I notice you've been all over Guam, Micronesia, Marshall Island, and doing different kinds of job. And so I know that you can reach out to our young people also. That there are opportunities, different careers, and in the islands along the Marianas and Micronesia. And so it's just reaching out to our kids, right? And so speaking of that, I hope you can work with Tinian and Rhoda representative, because I know, for example, that there are a couple of people down on Rhoda that for example, want to go to Tinian, a little training to operate an equipment or work at a construction job there. Just a matter of trying to get to these people, and so that they know where to go, right? So a lot of it is just letting the students know what's going on and who to reach out, and I think that you will find that we have young kids that really want to improve their lives. For example, one of the expanded programs is the cosmetology, right? I saw here that they're starting a program this month. If some of our young kids know about that, they might enroll. It's just a matter of kind of reaching out, explaining to them what it takes to get into the program and that they can succeed, right? And so I hope that I know that when you join this board of trustees, that you will be able to do your best to reach out to young kids. I think a lot of times also it's going out to the companies and to the agencies or the people involved in certain programs. Like the other day we had a meeting, an update, a quarterly update on what's going on Tinian and the BULOP and how we're all invested, the islands around here, and it's a matter of trying to get, for example, these organizations to expose their programs and get it out to the community, even to the small businesses, right? So that they can play a role also, and from them we can reach out to our young kids. So I think that's also the role of the trustees, right? So, Madam Chair. Um, I don't have any question actually. I just want to comment that I'm happy for this nominee accepting and volunteering to take on this challenge. Jesus Monsi.
Mrs. Mossy, Senator Paul. My greatest concern is this 2029 deadline that's looming. It is in 4.5 years before we see a massive exodus of contract workers because of the deadline imposed by the U.S. Congress, as Senator Karina mentioned. And so I've been asking NMTech and nominees, other nominees before you, who have come before this committee to address that issue. And I'm not seeing the path from NMTech to fill the void of, let's say, construction workers, skilled workers in construction. And that's the biggest industry we have right now and the greatest need for the CNMI. So I really hope that NMTech, in working with other government agencies such as NMC, Department of Labor, come up with a solution. It is, I'm just afraid that we're procrastinating and we won't be able to fill that void when December 2029 comes around. That's the deadline, by the way, December of 2029. So should you be confirmed as the newest NMTech trustee, what initiatives do you hope to implement that will supplant, if not supplement, the construction industry in particular? And what is your plan to also help build workforce capacity in Tinian and Rhoda? You know, we oftentimes, when we talk of NMTech, because the agency is here in Saipan, we often tend to, I wouldn't say neglect, but not integrate Tinian and Rhoda into these plans. I'm not seeing it. So I would appreciate hearing from you regarding those two aspects.
Your first question, Chairwoman, is to, can you repeat your first question, please?
Sure. There's a December 2029 deadline imposed by U.S. Congress. So I'm very, very concerned that NMTech is not building the workforce capacity to supplant CW workers by that date. And it's a great concern that we here at the legislature have, because now we're going to have all this mass exodus of contract workers and we're not going to be able to fill in that void. And it's very, very critical because Skilled workers have been responsible for building our infrastructure here, including hotels, the utilities, you name it. They've been very integral in building our infrastructure here in the CNMI. And we don't have the local workforce to fill that void. So should you be confirmed, what initiatives do you hope to supplant that, to replace that void?
Well, I will start by conducting a thorough review of current and emerging technologies relevant to the industries our students are preparing to enter. This would involve consulting with industry's expert and keeping an eye on global trends. From there, I will work with the faculty to incorporate these technologies into the curriculum, perhaps starting with a pilot program that could later be expanded. I would also encourage the adaptation of innovative teaching methods such as project-based learning and flipped classrooms, which can better engage students and prepare them for real-world challenges. And then answer to your question, Chairwoman, to your second question. Unfortunately, I do not have the information at the moment, but we'll be more than happy to gather and provide that information to you soon.
Okay, thank you for that answer. One of the suggestions I might make is because this deadline is fast approaching, I hope that NM Tech, at least for the very foreseeable future, look at our neighboring island of Guam, who do not have a special immigration policy with regard to their workforce. They have H-2B, I think, and something else, some other acronym and number. But they do not, we have a, what we call a transitional program only. U.S. Immigration created a special program just for the CNMI. And that's the program they're trying to, or they will terminate, as far as we know today, will be terminating by December of 2029. So I think it'd be important for NM Tech to look at that, and at least for the immediate period right after the termination of that CNMI only transition worker program, at least to supplement or supplant, I think would be an option. And once again, I want to bring up and mention Tinian and Rhoda, because we need to develop the workforce there as well. And Department of Labor, NMC cannot do it alone. We need all these agencies working together to come up, because they all eventually have the same goals. And then one of the other things, I'm glad you mentioned emerging technologies, because I wanted to start getting into emerging industries as well. Are you aware of any industries that we can, that's how we, the legislature, can assist our Commonwealth, by introducing legislation to accommodate emerging industries. One of the examples, yourself as a commercial driver, and hope that someday skill, and I know it requires a lot of education and training and certifications, but you mentioned that there's a need for that here in the Commonwealth. So I hope that one day, whether it's through NM Tech or through your own private business, that skill is passed on. You know better, it's a dangerous job. And God forbid, if anything should happen to you, we would have lost that skill. We would have to then outsource that again. And we appreciate you coming back home to open up your business here and to help the economy. I don't have much questions for you. We understand that you have not ever served in the capacity you were nominated for. So our questions would be limited, to what you would know. And so we don't have much questions at this time for you.
Chairwoman.
Do you have any other remarks you would like to inform the committee?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from any other members? If not, I will dismiss you for today. Thank you for making the time to come out and answer our questions.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
You too. At this time, we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is miscellaneous. Do any of the members have any announcements or miscellaneous items to consider? None. I just have one. I'll announce that the next EAGI meeting will be conducted on August 28th, starting at 10 a.m. to vet the nomination of Ms. Elizabeth Palahaja and Mr. Roy Regis, nominated to serve on the Board of Professional Licensing. And also the same afternoon, we will vet the nomination of Ms. Michelle Lynn Sablon to serve as a regent for Northern Marianas College. That's all I have. If there are no other issues to address, I will now recognize Senator Paul Manglona for the proper motion to adjourn today's meeting.
I so move, Madam Chair, that we adjourn subject to the call of the chair.
Thank you, Senator Paul. A motion has been made and it has been seconded. Are there any objections to the motion? If not, there being no objections raised, this meeting is hereby adjourned. It is now 2:52 p.m.